So in this section, I'm going to discuss how you can add and remove new users to your inventory and also how you can share your inventory with other research groups. So when it comes to adding new users, you can do this by going to the Administration tab that you'll find on the left-hand side. Now, some of you won't have this option. This is only restricted to group administrators who are likely to be a subset of people within a given laboratory. If you do have this available to you, you can add new users by clicking on this button and then clicking on the inventory management. You'll be presented with this screen here, and you can see here all of the various user accounts. So in this case, I've only got myself added, but if you did want to add a new user, you come along to this kind of option on the right hand side of add new user, click this button, and then you fill out the information associated with your new person that you're adding. So you'll add in the university email address, their first and last name, and then you also need to choose a privilege level. So there's information on the privilege levels that are here. So for group administrator, they have full administrative access, so they can add and kind of edit user accounts, reset passwords, all of that kind of thing. So this is likely to be almost a very small subset of people that work within the lab and who are trusted to kind of provide oversight of a given inventory. Most people will probably be given this user privilege level. So this will allow people to search through the inventory, they'll be able to add and remove chemicals from the database, and they can also edit container information. There is, however, if you want to kind of really restrict access, there is also this read only, and so this will allow people to essentially search through the inventory, but they have no kind of ability to edit anything. So again, I will leave this to each individual group to determine the privilege levels that they will give to the various research students, etc., etc. But that's just a kind of general description of this. So here, once you've kind of provided that information, selected the privilege level, please make sure that you have here this single sign-on selected as the recommended. And then if you click on Add User, they'll be then added to the list of users for that inventory, and they can log on and kind of begin searching. I'm just going to close down this kind of window here. Additionally, if you ever need to edit the account for anybody, you can do this with this little pencil icon under Edit Account. So you can kind of change the privilege level at a later date if you've made a mistake or something. And also, this little this little kind of white cross here will allow you to kind of remove that person. So if somebody leaves the lab, they can be removed from the user list. In this case, I can't click this because I'm the only person within this inventory, but there's the ability to kind of remove this for group administrators. So that's kind of adding and removing and even editing kind of people's accounts. And what I'd like to discuss kind of briefly is just about how to share inventories with other research labs. So just to give you an example here, I am currently in this shared inventory demo, so an inventory that I've kind of created for a kind of demonstration purpose. And just to show you that if I search for everything, I have a single chemical within my inventory. So I've got some pyrrolidine. What I'd like to do now is I'd like to share my inventory so other research groups can see the chemicals that I have. And how I do this is I go back to that administration kind of drop down, click on inventory management, and then I go to this inventory tools drop down. So from this, you can see that we then have this inventory sharing option. And if you click here, you'll see a kind of pop-up window that shows you all of the various inventories that we have within a given site. So what this is across the Purdy building. So you'll see a lot of the inventories, or in fact all of the inventories, have this prefix of chem or ERT for earth sciences. But in this case, I'm going to share with this demo inventory, and I'm going to do that in the first instance at a restricted level. So this is kind of restricted. If I come down here to the bottom, click on Save Changes, what I'll do now is I'm going to switch over from the current inventory, this one here, and I'm going to go over to that demo inventory so that you can see the results of this. So here I'm now logged in to demo inventory, the one that I've just shared with. I'll search for all of the kind of chemicals in these, and you can see here that I've got demo inventory available to me, but I've also now got access to that shared inventory demo with that single pyrrolidine chemical in there. One thing to note is that because I have only provided restricted sharing, you can see that I've got pyrrolidine and also 25 mil, but I have no information on the location, which is what you can see in this one here. So here I've got name, size, and also the location as well. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch back to come a little bit further down here, shared inventory demo. I'm going to move back to this, go to administration, inventory management, inventory tools, and inventory sharing. And again, I'm then going to move from restricted to full, back down to the bottom, save those changes, and then I'm going to switch back to demo inventory again so that you can see the results as before. Search for all of the containers, and now what you'll see is that just like the demo inventory where we have name, size, and location, that's also true for the shared inventory. So you can see that this is kept in the chemical cupboard in this case. One other feature of this is that with a fully shared inventory, if, for example, I want to move the location of a given chemical, click on this, that shared inventory then becomes kind of available so that I can kind of move that container into a different inventory from where it started. So that particular chemical is in demo inventory, but I could, if I wanted to, move it over here. And this may be useful for you if you work in a research group that works across multiple laboratories. So if you enable full sharing, you can actually kind of move chemicals from one place to another if you need to. So again, this is just for you to be aware of this in case that becomes useful. So that was just an overview of how to kind of add, remove, and edit kind of users within your inventory, and also how you can share those inventories with other research groups throughout the department.